one of my favorite Western ballads, and this was originally done by Foy Willing and the Riders of the Purple Sage. It's a great old band who did some good harmony, like the Sons of the Pioneers. And they actually kind of started getting hard for the Western movies once the Sons of the Pioneers got too expensive. When it's twilight on the trail and I jog along, the world is like a dream and the ripple of the stream is my song. Thank you. That's supposed to be harmonica. When it's twilight on the trail and I rest once more, my ceiling is the sky and the grass on which I lie is my floor. Never ever have a nickel in my jeans, never ever have a debt to pay. Still I understand what real contentment means. Guess I was born that way. When it's twilight on the trail and my voice is still, please plant this heart of mine underneath the lonesome pine on the hill. Never ever have a nickel in my jeans, never ever have a debt to pay. Still I understand what real contentment means. Guess I was born that way. When it's twilight on the trail and my voice is still, please plant this heart of mine underneath the knotted pine on the hill. Y'all do this with me. song recently with a friend of mine who's a poet. His name is J.P. Gorham, and it came out of, inspired by my horse. He's a 27-year-old quarter horse, the first horse I ever got. And he used to be a barrel racer, and so he loves to run. And our favorite thing to do was I would go out to the pasture and get on him, just bareback, no bridle or anything, and he would just gallop. And so this song is called Equine Flight. The prairie wind was brisk and kind of mischief-making then. It whisked my hair most everywhere, then set it down again. Your mane and tail were flying too, though we were standing still. I saw one ear flick back at me, a warning of the thrill of equine flight. That moment when we're shredding grass and the world becomes a blur. My hands like a feather upon the reins. You toss your head with frisky joy, you never need a spur. The sweat-stained smell of leather and the wetness of your hair are sweeter scent than flowers like the bonnets blue and fair. And with prairie clouds ascending and the moonlight coming soon, revel in the moment as your hoofbeats play a tune of equine flight. As I lean forward on your neck, you speed the higher gear. You carry my dreams through the meadows, and though we race at breakneck pace on you, I never fear. When my song is out of tune and my harmonies collide, it's closeness to the pavement causing hope to just subside. If not for equine flight, as I lean forward on your neck, you speed to higher gear. This gift's the Creator's own symphony. For though we race at breakneck pace on you, I never fear. Though we race at breakneck pace on you, I never fear. I don't know. Devin's coming up. Yeah, we got a couple of, well, one duet. Maybe while she's getting ready, I'm going to do the other song that, this is one I put on my latest CD, and I absolutely love it. It's one that Janet McBride wrote last year, I think, not very long ago. And it's a beautiful song, and it's about Texas, so what's not to like? Heaven, they say, will be perfect, and I believe all I've been told, though nobody living has seen it. Many have made plans to go, and I'd like to be in that number, to see heaven when my life is through. But till my time Texas will do. This next song we're gonna duet is one that me and Devin and Janet wrote together. It was Janet's idea. She had decided that for years, at least I guess when you were growing up, DJs were all playing the Western swing music, and they didn't think it was cool to play yodel songs, and so we were just going to invent a Western swing song with a yodel in it, and it came to be called Yodel Western Swing.
There'll be some mic sharing going on here.
How they've got to
Oh yeah, you have to participate too. This requires that you do the traditional holler, Bob Wills style, and you'll know when that is. At least after the first time through, you'll know when that's coming up. Okay.
She fell in love with Western swing when she was just a singing teen, and it was back in Grandpa's day. She was learning how to play Wills and Cooley on the stage, and yodelers were all the rage. No one had a clue this little gal could yodel it too. Little yodel lady, show us what you got. Let us hear a yodel. Come on, give it a shot. Little yodel lady, won't you do your thing? Show us how to yodel Western swing. Yodel, yodel, hooty, yodel, yodel, hooty. They hodel, hodel, dee, I hodel, ah.
You want to plug back in? It's your verse. A little failure there, I'm sorry.
One day her chains had come around, traveling band came to their town. She had her guitar in hand, they asked her up to join the band. The dancing crowd began to sway, swinging beats swept her away. It came her turn to sing a line. Her yodel came in snappy time. They hollered, little yodel lady, show us what you got. Let us hear a yodel. Come on, give it a shot. Little yodel lady, won't you do your thing? Show us how to yodel Western swing. Hodle, hodle, dee, hodle, hodle, dee. Yo hodle, hodle, dee, I hodle, ah. Well, now faded love, let's do this again. Like faded love, those years are gone. The Western swing keeps swinging on. Like rhythm guitar, bunkhouse bass, puts a smile on everything. Combines it with a yodel break, and every time it takes the cake. Now everywhere we go, they wanna hear us swinging yodel low. They holler, little yodel lady, show us what you got. Let us hear a yodel. Come on, give it a shot. Little yodel lady, won't you do your thing? Show us how to yodel Western swing. Hodle, hodle, dee, hodle, hodle, dee. Yodel, hodle, dee, I yodel, ah. Hodle, hodle, dee, I yodel, dee, 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 dee.
That was fun. E. Oh, we didn't do the one? Well, not nice. Well, I don't know if that will go out on the air or not. I've had issues with these parties. But that makes 100% though that we've done that song at these lunch bunches since it was written, right? I don't think we missed a time doing Yodel Western Swing. Well, I'm Devin Dawson, and thank you. And most of the time I'll be performing with Outlaw Jessie Dell or Miss Kristen, though I once in a while get to ham it up. But Outlaws at work today. Now, that doesn't make sense, does it? Doesn't seem like Outlaws ought to go to work. Sit around getting into trouble. I want to do a little song that's in honor of all those who have cattle in this great Southwest where you don't have much grass or water or much money. My man went to the ranch one day, went to the foreman to get his pay. The boss said, "Vato, you run this place, and you deserve a raise." My man said, "Hippie, that's real good news. Someone that never always sure could use." He said, "I'll raise you a buck or two, but that's all I can do." And I said, "Mejor que nada, oh, you should not complain. Mejor que nada, it isn't a shame. 'Cause if you've ever had nothing, not a thing to your name, you like what you got, you think it's a lot. Mejor que nada." For those of you who may not be from the great Southwest, you might not know, mejor que nada means better than nothing. So we went down to a border town. Man, we started throwing that paycheck round. If you're local, we had to taste. Then we went back to our place. He said, "Querida, this is our home. I realize it's not the Astrodome, just a bunkhouse, a cinder block, but it's the best we've got." And I said, "Honey, mejor que nada, oh, you should not complain. Mejor que nada, it isn't a shame. 'Cause if you've ever had nothing, not a thing to your name, you like what you got, you think it's a lot. Mejor que nada." Every once in a while it gets a little bit better than nothing. Good enough for a smile, good enough to go. Mejor que nada, oh, you should not complain. Oh, mejor que nada, it isn't a shame. 'Cause if you've ever had nothing, not a thing to your name, you like what you got, you think it's a lot. Mejor que nada. See, you like what you got, though it is not a loss. Mejor que nada. That song was written by Mr. Mike Blakely down in the hill country of Texas, and he knows wherever he speaks. His cattle are raised everywhere in Texas. But this next one, I reckon I ought to do a song I wrote, and this one came in as a finalist for a Spur Award in 2007 when it was submitted. I was real proud of that. It's called "Keeping Your Head Above the Water," and you've heard it several times here. But I wanted you to remember that it's a true story about a horse that survived the devastation of flood in Fort Worth, Texas in May of 1949. And this animal, this big paint horse, was the only one to survive this flood. It came up so fast that cattle and horses drowned. He was the only one. It just was a combination of the fact that he was on a little bit higher ground and he was a big horse. He was able to keep his nostrils just above the water line for 3 days as he was up on his hind legs with his forepaws up on the corral. He was trapped, and they came in and found later that he had survived. So isn't that a lesson? That's a life lesson. The Lord just sort of put it on my heart and said, you got to tell folks about that. Well, I'll be helpful if I get the right key. Well, Louie had a paint horse by the name of Lad. Best trick riding pony Louie ever had. Taught him how to rear up, walk about with style, dancing on his haunches while the crowd went wild. This trick came in kind of handy in the spring of '49 when the 4-horse stockyards flooded and the hands woke up to find all the livestock perished and only one survived. Lad stood on his haunches to keep himself alive. He rested his he readied his wanting, though he was heading waterman. He stood on solid ground. He was trusting in the good Lord till pretty soon he found that life brings you problems, man. It floods you with storms. Nothing you can handle, you just grab them by the horns. As long as you're breathing, reaching up for the rail, standing up on them haunches, honey, you ain't gonna fail. You're keeping your head above the water. Now, honey, don't you panic with it up to your neck. You do have to remember what old lad you know it did. When others go belly up, you'll be sitting pretty there instead. If you're keeping your head above the water, keep on keeping your head above the water. You just keep looking up. I do one more. Well, since I gotta do it, I've got, you know, y'all get mad at me if I didn't do the Jesse song, so. And today I get to do it solo. Because Outlaw's not here. See, Outlaw Jesse Dell, he comes by that name legally. I just got assigned it by Ranger Doug. But the recording came out in 2000, and on the next Grammy cycle, which was February '01, it won a Grammy for The Riders in the Sky, which was our first Grammy. And I always tease him, says, because you put a girl on your album for the first time. You're supposed to laugh at that. What's the matter with you? So let's do a little yodeling here. I was born in Oklahoma, in the rolling Osage Hills, and I rode my pinto pony at full gallop for my thrills. And a song of joy and gladness bubbled up inside my heart and burst forth in merry music. That's how yodeling got its start. I'm Jessie, the yodeling cowgirl. I'm dainty as a fairy, princess of the prairie. I'm Jessie, the yodeling cowgirl. I ride along, I yodel my song, dawn till dusk till dawn. I'm Jessie, the yodeling cowgirl. I do little yodel, I yodel, 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 dee, yodel, yodel, dee, yodel, yodel, dee, yodel, yodel, I yodel, yodel, dee, yodel, yodel, dee. Now in about the year 2002 or something, I was doing shows in costume as Jessie. Just something I kind of started doing. Disney didn't really care, but I do rodeos and all, and the kids start asking, where's Woody? And I'd say, oh, he's back at the ranch taking care of Bullseye. But then one day it was like the Lord just put his hand on my head and said, Woody is Bob Terry, and he's sitting right over there. So for years and years, we did a great ensemble act called Woody, Jessie, and the Cowgirls. And Cowgirl Johnny, you were in it. The kids weren't in it, they were just too little, getting bored. We had Brooke Wallace and Sally Ann Wallace, and that was really fun. I love looking at those pictures and looking at those videos. You know, if you don't have the recording of this, you don't ever get to hear the second verse. It is now available, I've been told. Woody's Roundup can be bought on digital download. I'm really glad for that, because there are no physical copies for sale anymore. Are you ready? So I moved to California, became a TV star, broadcast wave and beams and rays, cast yodeling near and far. My yodeling swept the country, an epidemic got all caught us. Now everybody knows me as the epiglottis goddess, but I'm Jessie, the yodeling cowgirl, as dainty as a fairy, princess of the prairie. I'm Jessie, the yodeling cowgirl. I ride along and yodel my song, dawn till dusk till dawn. I'm Jessie, the yodeling cowgirl. I do yodel, yodel, I yodel, 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 I yodel, yodel, dee, oh, yodel, yodel, dee, yodel, dee, oh, I do yodel, 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 dee. Yeah! Thank you. Okay, you know, I want to do one more song with Kristen, and then I'm done. I have to go back to Fort Worth and all that. But not till I get to meet a few more of you, but I'll be quiet. So the people will be performing. What's that? Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Terrys. Yes, absolutely. They're going to be getting up, I think, next. You all are in charge of the schedule, but I had to do this thing because we got one microphone and Well, you got your guitar, but you could go ahead and play this. We're going to try this because being cowgirl friends, you got to learn to share, you know. Here you go. You have a pick? I have my pick, and it's stuck to my fingers, so I don't drop it. This is going to be interesting. It's going to have to move over and be able to share. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to drink my coffee from an old tin can while the moon goes riding high. I want to hear the song of a whippoorwill. I want to hear those coyotes cry. I want to feel my saddle horse between my spurs when I'm riding him out on the range. Just to kick him in the side, make him show his steps and pride. Back on the Texas plain. How do you play? Oh. We got to do it right, okay? All right. Here we go. Y'all are with us, right? Encouragement. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to drink my coffee from an old tin can while the moon goes riding high. I want to hear the song of a whippoorwill. I want to hear those coyotes cry. I want to feel the saddle horse between my spurs when I'm riding him out on the range. Just to kick him in the side, make him show his step and pride. Back on the Texas plains. Adio-lay-ti-eh, adio-lo. Lo-lo-ti-o, adio-lay. O-lay-ti-eh. Um-de-lo-ti-o-lo-lay-lo-lay-lo-lay-lo-ti. Each night in my dreams, somehow it seems I'm back where I belong. Just an old cowhand from the Rio Grande, back where I was born. Oh, the city lights and the city waves, they're driving me insane. I wanna be alone, I wanna be back home, back on the Texas plains. Adio-lay-ti-eh, adio-lo. Lo-lo-ti-o, adio-lay. O-lay-ti-eh. Um-de-lo-ti-o-lo-lay-lo-lay-lo-ti. Adio-lay-lo-lay-lo-lay-lo-lay-lo-lay. O-lay-lo-ti, o-lay-lo-ti, o-lay-lo-lay-lo-lay-lo-lay-lo-ti. O-lay-lo-lay-lo-lay-lo-ti.
We're trying to get tuned. This weather will do things to a guitar. And apparently it does things to tuners too. All this for half a song. Oh, while I'm doing this. Well, my name is Bob Terry. This is my wife, Johnny. And Devin, by the way, you were talking about the Woody and Jesse thing. You remember the website, heyhowdyhey.com?
Yeah.
Well, the server went down. So I had to rebuild it.
This week.
And it looks amazing.
Oh, you're talking about our history.
Dadgummit.
We'll go look at heyhowdyhey.com.
Watch it.
That's it. Close enough.
Forget them tuners. All right, we're close enough for country music. But we're going to play Western. Somebody give that man a gun. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm almost there.
You should be playing Gibson. I need to be on this side.
Do you?
Well, if we're going to share the mic. There's got to be a joke in here somewhere. You need to borrow a guitar.
Devin, where's your guitar?
Oh, mine's right
Right
here.
here, Mom. It's a Martin.
Oh, that, yeah, the stand.
Oh.
Mine's here. Mine's here. You're welcome.
I'm tired of these people waiting.
It's just not tuning up.
You'll need the line.
Well, I could have had my guitar tuned by now.
Oh, well.
Did you see that? She almost hit it. Did
I
you
did
see
not.
that?
People hit me all the time. Here you go. There's your pick.
All right.
Thank you, Kristen.
You're welcome.
I just did all this so I could play Kristen's guitar.
You want to plug in?
Yeah, this can be longer.
No, it's all right. I got it.
Are you? All right.
I got it.
You got it.
Well, this one's in tune.
Now, are we in tune? Yeah.
We are. Let's start out with My Rifle, My Pony, and Me. How's
Okay.
that? I say I got it.
I played this.
The sun is setting in the west. The cattle go down to the stream. The redwing settles in its nest. It's time for a cowboy to dream. Purple light in the pinyon, that's where I long to be with my green, good companion. Just my rifle, my pony, and me. Whippoorwill in the willow sings a sweet melody, riding to Amarillo. Just my rifle, my pony, and me. Gonna hang my sombrero to the limbs of a tree, coming home, sweetheart darling. Just my rifle, my pony, and me. No more cows to be roping, no more strays will I see round the bend. She'll be waiting for my rifle, my pony, and me. For my rifle, my pony, and me. Yeah, we remembered that whole song, didn't we? Springtime? I missed it. I marched from Fort Barren through blizzard of snow. Been out prospecting for 2 years or so. Pulled into Fairbanks, the city was boom. So I took a little stroll to the Red Dog Saloon. As I walked through the doors, the music was clear. The prettiest voice I had heard in 2 years. The song she was singing made a man's blood run cold. When it's springtime in Alaska, it's 40 below.
the grizzly bear hug. We did our dance on a Kodiak rug. The song she kept singing made a man's blood run cold. When springtime in Alaska is 40 below. Now I was as innocent as I could be. I didn't know Lil was Big-Ed's wife to be. He pulled out his knife and he gave it a throw. When springtime in Alaska, I'll be 6 feet below.
When it's springtime in Alaska, 6 feet below.
I think I like this one microphone thing.
Do you like this? You like that? Good thing it's not a trick.
Yeah, good thing. All right. How about Glory Bound Train?
Our lead player isn't here. Our
That's
train
right.
guy.
He had to go to. That's a 4-letter word. I'm not going to say it. Oh, he always starts it out, doesn't he? Well, we can just go.
We'll do what Kristen did. Wah, wah.
Wah, wah. Hope I remember it, since the lead player's not here.
Come and listen, won't you, brother? Have you heard or don't you know? There's a train that's bound for glory. Will you be there when it goes? Has your ticket yet been purchased for that glory-bound train? Will you ride? Will you ride? Will you ride that train to glory by and by? Oh, its headlight will be gleaming. Jesus is the engineer. Will you ride his train to glory, or will he leave you here? Has your ticket yet been purchased for that glory-bound train? Or will you ride? Or will you ride? Will you ride that train to glory by and by? When you hear it in the distance, hear those mighty drivers roll. Just a little while to tarry till we walk the streets of gold. Has your ticket yet been purchased for that glory-bound train? Or will you ride? Or will you ride? Will you ride that train to glory by and by? When its golden bell starts swinging, ringing on that golden cord, better have your ticket ready when you hear that all aboard. Has your ticket yet been purchased for that glory-bound train? Or will you ride? Or will you ride? Will you ride that train to glory by and by? Has your ticket yet been purchased for that glory-bound train? Or will you ride?
Glory-bound train.
Or will you ride?
Glory-bound train.
Will you ride that train to glory by and by?
Thank you. You know, I hadn't thought about it. The chance after
He has a lot.
Wow.
You should tell him that. Send you out a lot.
Yeah, I didn't really realize it.
Yeah, he does that a lot.
Master's call?
Yeah.
Okay. Who said yeah? Okay. All right. The echo is very appropriate for this song. I guess this will be our final one. We'll wrap up with this one. And we want to thank everybody for having us. Thanks for Don for inviting us. And thanks for Jerry for putting us in.
When I was but a young man, I was wild and full of fire. A youth within my teens, but full of challenge and desire. I ran away from home and left my mother and my dad. I know it grieved them so to think their only boy was bad. I fell in with an outlaw band, their names were known quite well. How many times we robbed and plundered I could never tell. This kind of sinful living leads only to a fall. I learned that much and more the night I heard my master call. One night we rustled cattle, 1,000 head or so, and started down out on the trail that leads to Mexico. But a norther started blowing and lightning flashed about. I thought someone was calling me, I thought I heard a shout. Then at that moment lightning struck not 20 yards from me, and left there was a giant cross where once there was a tree. And this time I knew I heard a voice so sweet and strange, a voice that came from everywhere, a voice that called my name. So frightened I was thinking of sinful deeds I'd done, I failed to see the 1,000 head of cattle start to run. Cattle they stampeded, were running all around. My pony ran but stumbled and it threw me to the ground. I felt the end was near, the death would be the price, when a mighty bolt of lightning showed the face of Jesus Christ. And I cried, Lord, forgive me, don't let it happen now. I want to live for you alone, oh God, these words I vow. My wicked life unfolded, I thought of wasted years, when another bolt of lightning killed 100 head of steers, and the others rushed on by me, and I was left to live. The Master had a reason, life is his to take or give. A miracle performed that night, I wasn't meant to die. The dead ones formed a barricade, at least 6 or 7 high. Right behind it there was I, afraid but safe and sound. I cried and begged for mercy, kneeling there upon the ground. A pardon I was granted, my sinful soul set free. No more to fear the angry waves upon life's stormy seas. Forgiven by the love of God, a love that will remain. I gave my life and soul the night the Savior called my name.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Good. Give another. People here, you just couldn't see over everybody. Jug back there. The little brown jug back there. All of you great folks. And we promised this young lady that's going to come up here next that we weren't going to put her up here to put on a show. We were going to let her do a couple numbers. That's why we all came, was to get to see her. And she graciously said she would drive this way, and Jerry talked her into it. Jerry's been talking with her for several years. And even before we all knew there was a Maggie Mag, she was still a housewife sitting in the house. And her husband said, "You ain't going to be able to do that, sugar." She said, "I don't know, I want a yodel, and I got a guitar, and I think I'm going to play it." And he's sitting back there, Mr. Maggie's right back there. And she did. And then she got on RFD TV, and it's amazing. And she and I have talked about it, as what can happen just by somebody being on that show kind of in the beginning. It was her beginning. And I knew that because I talked to her on the phone. Next thing I see, she's on national TV, and I'm watching going, yeehaw. So,
the yeehaw!
that's right. I want you to know I can't do that. Anyway, we're making fun of it. She knows that I love her. John, I've got the cutest picture of her. John's looking down, and she's looking up, and it's just precious. It really is. She loved John, and you brought him some bumbleberry pie or something. Was that what it was? Anyway, make her welcome. We're so glad she's here.
Can I I'm getting older. I can't get up once I bend down.
Oh, we saw you, kid.
It's going to get worse. It is going to get worse. Where's the other end?
Oh, maybe I got the wrong one there.
Well, the blue one's good. Where's the rest?
Oh.
There it is.
Okay, so let's take it out of here.
Oh,
Okay.
this will work.
Oh, okay.
Here, do this. That's fine.
I'll put that one in.
That's okay. Tell us if it's too loud. But remember, you're right on there.
All right. Well, boy, is it hard to follow this fantastic talent you have here in Texas. And I got to make confessions and disclaimers right away. I didn't buy my first guitar till I was all grown up, and actually my children were all grown up. And I didn't even know that I wanted to sing or be doing this for a living at all, so I'm really grateful for every single day, every moment that I get to do something, especially with music. And in August of 2002, I bought my first guitar. My husband, Mr. Maggie May, Roger over there, we have a little restaurant in Wisconsin called Maggie May's Cafe. And I was the waitress. We had a cook and a dishwasher, and our cafe is only maybe a little bigger than this room. And
They can stop by.
they can. If you're ever on Highway 82 in Oxford, Wisconsin, you make sure you come on by. But anyways, I was the waitress. We had a cook and a dishwasher. And when I'm working, I'm a happy worker, so I was just singing to whatever song was on the radio. And Roger would come home at night and he'd say, you know what? He says, when you're singing in the kitchen, he says, I think the folks out in the dining room really enjoy it. And he says, so I think when you know a song on the radio, he says, you ought to go out and sing it to the folks. And I looked at him, I said, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. You don't sing at a restaurant, and look what we're doing today. And so I happened to be watching television one night, and I think the show was Austin City Limits on PBS or something like that. And yeah, and I thought, well, my goodness, we live in a little rural town, population 575, and here I opened up this restaurant that I thought we're going to be out of business in a year. And I thought, well, maybe I just need to learn something and do something to be a little bit unique. So I went to work the next day, and I was telling the boys that sit at the BS table every morning, and, well, you know what BS stands for. Big spenders. Well, the boys that sit at the big spender table, I was telling them, well, one of them was a truck driver, and he had his guitar in his truck, and he brought it in, and he played some old Hank Williams and Eddie Arnold songs, and it brought me back in my mind. I didn't even know I liked these songs, but I remembered them while he was singing, and it brought me back in time when I was growing up on the dairy farm in Wisconsin, and my dad always had those songs playing on the radio. And I went home and I just ordered a guitar off the internet, and I just been trying to strum away. I'm not a musician, but I am an entertainer. I love people and I love music, and so formed a band and made my first album 6 months after I just started to sing at my own little restaurant. So now I have 7 albums, and I got on that television show by accident. And see, God plans out a path for you that you don't even know sometimes. Well, someone came to my little restaurant in Wisconsin and bought 2 of my albums, and they went up to Sandstone, Minnesota, and the lady accidentally left her purse in the audience. And when they opened it up to see whose it was, they found mine and they listened, and I've been on the show ever since. And so I've been very thankful for all those things that happened. It's just God, and I'm just so thankful that my husband Roger, we knew nothing about the music business or anything, and we used to just go around. Like I said, we're farmers, and we have the restaurant and a couple laundromats, and never thought music was going to be in our future at all, but we would go around and watch other bands and just write down what kind of equipment they have, and we started buying cords and we don't know where to plug them in. When the flowers in Montana are blooming, I'll be coming home to you, sweetheart of mine. Well, thank you so much. Well, it was a few years back that somebody handed me, now, Jerry, was it Bob and Ann that handed me a CD, and it was called 50 Years of Yodeling with Janet McBride. And
It was the record.
oh, it was the CD, 50 years of yodeling on this little CD, and I made Mr. Maggie May listen to 50 years in 1 hour. On our way home from Tractor Supply, and I looked at him and I said, hey, I'm going to learn how to yodel today. And he kind of looked at me and rolled his eyes. He was ready to go off the road after an hour of yodeling. And I don't blame him. But anyways, I said, I'm going to learn how to do that today. And he says, yeah, right. And I'm not the best yodeler, but I just love the sounds of yodeling. And everyone does it in a different way, and it's just so beautiful. But we got home to our farm in Wisconsin. It was harvest time. And he was out on the combine till about 10 o'clock that night. And I sat for about 8 hours at my kitchen table listening to one song over and over and learning how to yodel. And when he came home that night, he's in the bathroom shaving, getting all cleaned up, and I was in my kitchen. I said, all right, now listen to this. And I grabbed the guitar and I yodeled him a song, and he comes out with suds all over his face. He says, it's going to be a hit. I said, it's Janet McBride's hit, but I sure like to do it. But it sure has been wonderful to be able to incorporate that in the stuff I do. I do a lot of traditional country and such, but I'd like to just do a song. It's called Crying on the Breeze, and it was written by a friend of mine, a truck driver. It's not a yodeling song, but it's just a beautiful song. Left my mountain home so long ago, to a new job in the city I did go. But the happiness I thought that I would find back home with that boy I left behind. Darling, are the dogwoods blooming way up on the mountainside? Are the mockingbirds still singing in the trees? I remember walking with your tender hand in mine. There'll be no more crying on the breeze. How I miss the red bud in the spring. Seasons in the city don't mean a thing. I miss the sound of raindrops in the pines. Most of all, I miss your loving eyes. Darling, are the dogwoods blooming way up on the mountainside? Are the mockingbirds still singing in the trees? I remember walking with your tender hand in mine. There'll be no more crying on the breeze. Oh, I can't walk another city street. How I long to feel the soil beneath my feet. I think I'll go and quit my old job today. Living without you ain't worth the pay. Darling, are the dogwoods blooming way up on the mountainside? Are the mockingbirds still singing in the trees? I remember walking with your tender hand in mine. There'll be no more crying on the breeze. Oh, darling, let's go walking with your tender hand in mine. There'll be no more crying on the breeze. Oh, I just love that old country music. So when you come to my restaurant, I might be there during the week. On the weekends, I'm busy with the band and we're traveling around. But during the week, I'm usually there a few days sitting in the corner just singing. And when there's dishes to do, I gotta sing. Gets me out of them every time. I know those girls at the restaurant. They come out of the kitchen. My help has been with me for 10 years or better, you know, some of the help. And I'll always say, hey, does anybody have a request? And sure enough, one of the cooks will come out of the kitchen and they'll say, Maggie, you're taking requests? And I'll say, yeah, what do you want? And they say, take this job and shove it. Whatever happened to the yodeling cowgirls? The ones that throw the silver screen. The ones that would ride with Roy and all the boys and filled every young girl's dream. Whatever happened to the yodeling cowgirls? Was I too young to know? If they would come to town, I bet they would be found putting on a yodeling show, and they'd sing do-do-do-do-dee-dee-oh, do-do-do-do-dee, whatever happened to the yodeling cowgirls? The ones that used to dress so bright, with fringe hanging down and rhinestones all around and multicolored cowboy boots. Whatever happened to the yodeling cowgirls? There must be at least one left. But till I find that one, I'm gonna have some fun. Do the yodeling myself, and I'll sing do-do-do-dee-dee-oh, do-do-do-dee. I'm a mama lady, do-do-do-dee, 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 can I get a big yee-haw? Today, and it is an honor to be here and to listen to folks that I follow around on the internet and see what's going on down here in Texas. So thank you so much for letting me be part of your lunch.
Thank you.
And thank you, Janet McBride, for being you.
It's a God thing.
That's right.
I would say, why are we doing it in E?
Yeah, we're going to save y'all a lot of pain, and I'm probably not going to sing, but Mike is. So, do you want to come and play guitar? And is it James? Jerry. I got close. Just stand up and play. Jerry came, totally invited, but he didn't know that he'd pick or sing or anything, but I told him, just wrap it up and get up. And he's got a harmonica too. So come on, Jerry.
Play them all on this song.
Yeah, you can play them all on this song. Thank you, Maggie. Give Maggie another thank you. What key?
E.
E?
I used to say when we were going to sing in the key of E, and John would say, is that the only key you know? I said, I guess it
Mostly
is.
what it was.
This one on? This one. Testing it. This one. Let's do it.
See, you do it
didn't bring my amplifier.
Huh?
Oh,
You can be plugged. Somebody can be, I'm not.
somebody needs to be. Yeah, you should plug
No,
yourself
I
in.
don't have my amplifier.
Well, it is,
Yeah,
well,
that's
this
it, the
amp,
blue one, follow.
this amp will work, won't it? No?
I
No?
have to have an external amp.
Oh, okay. Well, do you want to plug you in?
No,
then? Okay.
I'm not playing very good these days. Where's he? There it is. My arm doesn't want to work. You guys have heard that story. It just doesn't want to work. It's a God thing.
We close enough.
Where you?
When trouble surrounds us, when evils come, the spirit grows weak, the body goes numb. When these things he says, he doesn't forget. He sent down his love, wings of a dove, on the wings of a snow white. He sent his sweet love, a sign from above, on the wings of a dove. When Noah had prayed on a flood rainy day, he searched for land in various ways. Troubles he had some, but he wasn't forgotten. God sent down his love,
That hill.
on the wings of the snow white.
Y'all sing.
He sent his birds sweet, a sign from above. Somebody wants to hide. That's a bell. That's the most important verse in the world. When Jesus went down in the water that day, he was baptized in the usual way. When it was done, God blessed his son. He sent down his on the wings of a snow white. He sent his birds sweet, sun from above. A sign from above, on the wings of a dove. Janet said I gotta do one more.
Yeah. Then we're gonna let y'all go home. I know you're tired of us. What do you got?
Anyone can
they're gonna
know the
love this
joy
song.
true love brings, a girl and boy. We could, you and I, you.
If you'll play, if you guys
Sure,
will play.
sure.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what it would be. You want to do the gospel?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
What key?
She's pushing me here. That's not my phone. Somebody's ringing. Sounds like mine, but I'm not vibrating now, so it ain't mine. I used to tell people my leg was vibrating. I quit saying that. I think I do this
E?
in E, yeah. Song that I wrote and it at a lot of churches. You've not ever done this song.
I'm gonna sing it.
Maybe let's do it now.
Huh?
You can tell I don't sing much anymore. My destiny is here. I'm here to say I made my reservations and I'll sing it on my way. I can't wait to hear the voice of the nation. I'll do the gospel welcome and make the heavens ring. Hello, or somewhere down below. It's time to decide what it's gonna be. Why don't you be an angel and come down to me? If you can't make up your mind, Satan's stand to find. The fires of hell are burning hot, on which you can rely. Still the choice is up to you. You run out of time. Tell the Lord you want to go, and you'll be left behind. On heaven's waiting, what do you see? Will you walk the streets of gold, or will you hesitate? When the sign is in, when the angels sing, we'll do the gospel, don't we? Thank y'all very much. And these two guys over here, thank you for coming. Now, we'll do this again. Jerry will let you know. We don't always have big stars like Maggie May. Sometimes you just get me. And then there's when Kristen and Devin come, that's big time. And then when Bob and the Terry family come, that is, and they all came today, I'm sure, because Miss Maggie May was going to be here. So
You have a lot of talent here.
they do.
I
We
wish
do.
everybody
They do.
wonderful success in their lives.
Yes. And we wish you a great rest of your trip. You're going to Arizona, and everything is sold out. All the shows. Yep. And that is awesome.
And then we're going back to Wisconsin to see if our business is still there.
Have to come visit you.
Yeah, and y'all do need to go. In fact, I think Lowell Loddick and Jack and Marge said, oh, we're going to go up there. And I said, well, let me know, because I would meet them somewhere up there. And I would get Mike and all the rest, and we'll just
Some
go.
of the most wonderful times that if I do nothing else in my little music career, at my farm, at Roger and our farm, he cleaned out one winter. I was wondering, he was coming home every day and he was really dirty. And I could only see the whites of his eyes, and I said, what are you doing today? He says, I'm cleaning out the barn. I said, oh, okay. But he did that for like all winter long. And the next thing I know, he says, come on out in the spring, and he brought me up in our haymow, 8,000 square foot haymow, and he built me a stage, and we've been holding barn dances up there ever since.
Oh, amen. And see, you can all go up, make that a plan, but don't go in the the winter. And if you watch the TV, your dog comes out and he's got something to say and your cat goes, show off, which is really, really cute. But we thank you so much, and thanks Mike and the two guys over, Bill and Jerry. I've been calling everybody Jerry. There he is, right there, Jerry. Bill and Jerry, and we'll do it again. Jerry will let us know when the next time, and you guys are invited to come pick, because this is what we do. And Kristen's always invited, and Mike, we just assume. Larry didn't bring any of his git fiddles today, but he will next time. And so, thank y'all so much, and thanks for letting me do something on this.
And welcome to Crossroads Live. We are on the road. We're at El Phoenix at the Gene Autry Dallas Lunch Group, and we are here with Miss Maggie May.
Yeehaw!
I like that. Cowgirl all the way, right?
All the way.
All the way. Where's home?
We live in Oxford, Wisconsin. In the middle of Wisconsin, 20 below zero right now.
Aren't you happy to be here?
Am I ever?
Are you like on tour?
I am. We came for the winter down to the Rio Grande Valley, and we came up this way to meet our friend Janet McBride.
Oh, so you know Janet.
I sure do, yep.
Yeah. We've known her for a long time. Everybody loves Janet McBride.
Yep, she's wonderful.
Yeah, wonderful lady. And so how long have you been singing?
Well, I never thought this is what I would do for a living, but back in August of 2002, I bought my first guitar after watching someone play on television. I own a little restaurant in Wisconsin, and I was the waitress, and my husband heard me singing in the kitchen, and he said, you know, you ought to go sing to the folks out in the dining room. Well, I told him that was the stupidest thing I ever heard, but I was very wrong, and a truck driver came in one day, brought his guitar, and he played some old Hank Williams and Eddie Arnold songs, and I just fell in love with the old music again that my dad had playing on the radio when I was a kid growing up on the farm, and I vowed that this is what I wanted to sing.
Wonderful. I'll tell you, because the old stuff is the great stuff.
It is, and if we don't sing it, you know, it's not even of my generation, but if we don't sing it, it's not going to carry on, so I'm really pleased to be doing it.
Well, one of the things I tell everybody is that what does my heart good is to see these young people like Kristen Harris and folks like that who are coming up, 19 years old, singing their hearts out.
For sure, and the talent that I saw today, it was just wonderful, and just to be a part of it was wonderful. And I met Janet McBride. Someone handed me one of her CDs of yodeling songs, and I made my husband listen to 50 years of yodeling in 1 hour. And I vowed I was going to learn how to yodel, so I learned how to yodel.
So when's the divorce?
It's not... He learned to like it.
He learned to like it. So did you grow up watching the old Western TV shows and movies?
I sure did, and as a matter of fact, I'm a horse gal myself, and I think I was born in the wrong era. I would have loved to have been born back in the Old West days, minus all the violence.
Oh, yeah, minus the violence. Well, we got violence today.
I know.
But today, well, I was going to say today not everybody carries a gun, but that's not true.
That's not true. But not everyone rides a horse anymore.
I do. I have a horse named Becca, and she's a Appaloosa and Puerto Arabian.
Oh, she's a smart horse, and she's going to live forever.
I hope so. I hope so. Now, she's a wonderful, wonderful horse. I've had her now for about 20 years. Got her when she was a colt, you know.
I have one just like that. That's 28 years old that I had since a baby. But, you know, riding horses is one of the most therapeutic things you can do. And mix that with music, and you got a good combination.
Oh, yeah, I know, because I've talked to Kristen, and she told me, she said when she learned to yodel, the only one would listen was her horse.
That's right. That's same with me. We have a lot in common, Kristen and I, and when you're yodeling on that horse and you're going, those ears are going back and forth.
Like, what is she doing? So I was chatting with a friend of mine in New York, a guy that does my website. I was chatting with him yesterday, and he said, where are you? And I said, I'm out in the dog park with my dog. So he said, why don't you give your dog a pat on the head for me? So I did. So I wrote him back. I said, the dog's looking at me like I'm crazy. But anyway, so where to go from here?
Well, my husband and I are heading today. We're going to start our journey to Arizona for a few weeks. We have about 10 jobs booked up there. And then we head on home to Oxford, Wisconsin, and that's where over the, starting in May, I do barn dances, old-fashioned barn dances up at our farm in Oxford, and I have a band, and we travel around the Midwest, and you can see me on Saturday nights on a television show that goes on Dish Network and DirecTV called the Midwest Country Show.
Oh, I have to check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Away from music, okay? Green Bay Packer fan?
I am if they're winning.
You sound like half a Dallas. Oh, my God. I love it. Of all the songs you do, got a most requested one?
Well, you know, Johnny Cash is always a popular, any of his songs are popular numbers, and I just see the audience come alive. Some of the yodeling is definitely a crowd pleaser, and it just seems like these traditional country songs relate to the audience, and it helps me to relate to them because these are songs of their generation. So it doesn't matter what one we're playing, but they seem to spark something.
Well, I'll tell you a little story, if you don't mind me sharing.
I got all day.
Okay, we don't. But anyway, I want to share this with you. Johnny Cash recorded a little song called Ring of Fire.
I know it.
Okay. My friend, he's passed away now, my friend Merle Kilgore co-wrote that song.
Yes, yes, he's a great writer.
He was a great writer. He co-wrote that with June Carter Cash. And he told me the story, because I'm sure he told it to a lot of people, but he said, one night in the middle of the night, Johnny called me up on the phone. He says, I had a dream last night, Merle. And Merle said, well, what'd you dream, John? He said, I dreamed I was singing Ring of Fire with a Mexican horns in the background. I want to know if you mind if I record that away. He said, you record that song any way you want, partner.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that, look at where it got him.
Yeah. And so he said, I went in there and they recorded that song, and it just, one of Johnny Cash's biggest numbers, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I always like Folsom Prison Blues. I don't know.
Oh, you know it.
And do you sing High High as a Water Mama?
No, but I like that song.
That's a great song. Yeah, I love them old songs. I grew up, and I had the honor to meet Johnny Cash and June Carter.
Yes, yeah, that's really wonderful. I haven't met them in my lifetime before they passed on, but boy, Johnny Cash music has been an influence on just about any genre of music, even rock and roll.
Sure.
He has made an influence on just about everyone in the music business.
Well, I'll tell you a little secret. Not a lot of people don't know this, but Elvis used to tune his guitar to Johnny Cash's records.
I believe it.
Yeah. Well, Merle toured with, the reason I know this, because Merle toured with Elvis in the early days.
Yeah.
In the 50s, and before you and I were born. Nobody's buying that. Okay, so anyway, tell me the love story. I always love to get a love story. Tell me the love story between you and your husband. Where did y'all meet?
Oh, well, I call him, and everyone calls him Mr. Maggie May, but his name is Roger, and we worked together, and so he sold the business. He was a part owner, and he sold the business, and we had to think about what we were going to do for a living. Well, I was going to go back to school to be a teacher because my kids were all grown up, and he says, well, you know what? He says, there's this little restaurant for sale in Wisconsin, and he says, I think we're going to buy it. And I says, no, we'll lose our shirts. And I said, the restaurant business is really tough. And he says, too late. I put an offer in on it already, and here we are. That was in 2001, and it's 2014 now. We're still in business, and I learned how to sing and play, and that's where my music career started, was right there in that little restaurant.
What a great story.
Yeah.
And listen, I want to thank you for taking this time to visit with us, tell us your story, and wish y'all best luck on the road. And I think you're going to do well. I loved your music in there. In fact, I hope they save me a CD, because I want to go buy one and get you to autograph it.
I'll get you one.
All right, we'll do it. All right. And Jerry has your address?
I think so, yep.
Okay, we'll get you a copy of this interview.
God bless and happy singing.
As Roy would say, happy trails, everybody.
So, till we meet again, good luck, God bless, and we'll see you at the Crossroads. Let's go, Dan.